Hello guys, this is Mike from ICODROPS, and today it is going to be a very special interview because I have a very special guest for you, and his name is DJ Qian, and he is the founder and CEO of the Fusion project. Hello DJ, very nice to meet you, and thanks for visiting ICODROPS.
Hello, very nice to meet you, and I'm happy you have me here. It's my honor.
First of all, let me tell you that there are a lot of supporters of Fusion in our community, and Sergey, the founder of ICODROPS, might be the biggest one. Fusion
Thank you
was
so
a
much.
very special project for us. I would say it was kind of milestone for ICODROPS as a community as well. So I'm really excited to have a chance to speak to you today. While preparing for this interview, I've watched your AMAs and interviews available at the moment, and I was pretty surprised when in your recent interview from London, you've told that you regret the fact that you did not join the internet wave right after the graduation. Anyway, you have spent more than 10 years in technology before you entered the blockchain space. So could you please tell us your personal story? How did you get in blockchain? What experience you have already had by that time, and how you decided to start Fusion project?
Yes, of course. It was a long story, before I jumped into blockchain industry, I had been working for IBM for about 12 years. I joined IBM just right after I graduated from Fudan University in Shanghai. But in IBM, I most of my time was dealing with the business, not with the technology. But the platform of IBM gave me a very good opportunity to be updated with the most latest innovation in technology. And I still remember in 2013, early 2013, at that time I was the general manager for the IBM in the whole West China, and we usually have some meetings with the IBM research lab and the IBM development lab. There was a meeting that a very senior technical guy, he told me that recently there are some very interesting technology like AI. In IBM there is a very famous AI project which is called Watson. And he also mentioned there is a very interesting technology called Bitcoin. At the time I was really surprised that why a senior technical guy tell me there is a technology called Bitcoin, not a AI or Internet of Thing, or at the time people are fascinated with those type of technology, business intelligence, artificial intelligence, cloud, something like that. But he told me there is a very interesting technology called Bitcoin. But at that time I didn't put a lot of attention on it. Just the next week after I heard the first time heard about Bitcoin. That was not early. A lot of people, they heard about Bitcoin in 2010, 2011, but 2013 was not very early for me to hear about Bitcoin. But I still did not put a lot of attention on it. But just the next week, I heard the same. I heard the same story from one of my classmates in my university. We had a meetup at the time. My classmate, he told me there is a very interesting technology called Bitcoin. So my background is computer science. So I downloaded, I searched on the internet, I downloaded the white paper. I found it looked like just a window to another world. Everything at that time, IBM was talking about integration, consolidation, and a lot of these things. So everything is centralized. So we need to use the client server model to do a lot of things. But we heard about the BitTorrent or some peer-to-peer communication, something like that. But this is the first time I see value can be transferred to peer-to-peer. So it is really very interesting for me. Just after that, after I studied the white paper for about 2 months, I made a decision at the time. I was graduated in 2002. That was just the bubble of internet boom at the time. So I cannot tolerate I missed the next opportunity like Bitcoin. So I made a decision. I quit the job and tried to establish a company, jump into this industry. At that time, no one was talking about blockchain. There are a lot of cryptocurrencies, followed by, after Bitcoin, we have Litecoin, Doggy, and a lot of different coins, right? So I tried to jump into this industry, but the more I studied in this industry, the more I was fascinated with this industry. So I tried to build a team to do some research. That's why I came to find a lot of very fun things, found a lot of fun in this industry, build some projects, and the company started a project like Qtum, VChain, and some other projects. We tried to figure out how blockchain can help with a lot of different industries. So this is how the story started. I found blockchain is a very, very disruptive technology, which is new and which is very useful, and it can change a lot of fundamental things and try to improve how people can collaborate. So from that time, I tried to use the technology in a lot of different industries, like supply chain, like build a platform for the DApp. So Fusion is a experiment. We try to use the blockchain technology in a very different way to change the finance market and try to integrate a lot of different ecosystem of value together to make them can talk to each other, can have different type of financial instruments running on top of it. So this is the very good initiative for our journey on the blockchain.
So I would be really surprised if someone from ICODROPS community does not know much about Fusion. But for those people who might randomly find this video on YouTube, could you give the basic understanding of the project and what it is all about and what it makes different from other blockchain projects?
In 2015, we can see a lot of financial institutions, banks, insurance companies. They are trying to build a consortium to try to utilize blockchain technology to enhance and improve their current financial business. But from my perspective, how to do it is a big question. Sometimes when we go back to 20 years, 30 years ago, when the internet just started, we can see if we are just trying to use the IT technology to transform a post office, we can never get an email system, right? So we are just trying to think in a different way. We hope we can build a platform which can have a bunch of very interesting functionality, like we can connect all the type of different ecosystem of value together. No matter it's a established financial institution or a company or a supply chain or whatever, as long as they need to interact with other value, they can be connected. So we got a very good inspiration from from the phenomenon, mid last year. There were a lot of different projects came up. So the problem became like those type of blockchain, they cannot talk to each other. Just like the economy today, we can see the economy in different ecosystem, like in a company, in a country, in an industry. But if we want those value can be exchanged, we definitely need to rely on the third party to deal with it. So this will increase a lot of cost. And what can help us to have all of those type of different value to be connected, and what can help us to use a very, very distributed way to control and have value to interact with each other. So this is our key problem we want to solve. And because we, as you know, we developed a very interesting technology, which is called the distributed control rights mechanism. This technology enables us to not only like Bitcoin to have a bunch of different nodes to keep the ledger, but also we can have a bunch of different nodes, anonymous nodes, to manage your assets. No matter it's anonymous assets, no matter it's a small ecosystem or a cryptocurrency or just assets in a company. As long as it is digitized, we can have them to be managed by a bunch of different nodes on one platform. In that case, we can have value to be transferred, to be exchanged, to be interacted with the value in other ecosystem. So this is the key technology we have built fundamentally for this platform, and we hope we can also develop a bunch of different technology which can enable the financial function on one platform as well, like time lock function, like the trigger event for the smart contract, like the I want to elaborate a little bit more about the time lock function. You know, today when we're trying to realize the value across time, there are very limited way for us to do. We only can rely on the third party. Like the third party, the centralized party can issue the bank acceptance, can issue the bank draft, can have the future exchange in one platform. But on Fusion, we add a third dimension into one token. You know, on Fusion, a token can be split by the ownership across the time. So this is a very interesting, a very interesting function. People can have a token, for example, 100 Bitcoin. On Fusion, as long as 100 Bitcoin is locked in on Fusion, it can be split into across the time. We can have 100 Bitcoin from present time to 3 months later, and another coin is 100 Bitcoin from 3 months later to forever. So anyone, they can do it. So from by using the time lock function, we can have a distributed, we can have all type of people. They can create the derivatives by themselves, not like today, only by the third party, right? So we also have some function like the different trigger event. And today on blockchain, we can only see the smart contract can be triggered by transaction itself. But we are trying to have the smart contract can be triggered by time and event, which is very essential for the financial usage. You know, all the financial instruments, they are related to time and are related to events, right? So these are the technologies we have developed, and we are trying to enhance a platform which can support the future finance to future business, future trading can be running on. So in summary, if we want to describe a Fusion platform in short, it's a kind of distributed platform we designed for the future finance, which can connect the value together and which can enable the full function of finance running on.
What I want to speak about is the Fusion ICO itself. It's been like half a year since the ICO, and recently we conducted an anonymous survey among our community members. What type of public sale do you consider to be the most convenient? And there were three answers. First answer was public sales with personal caps, and it got 63%. Second variant, all types of proof of care, proof of love, lotteries, and other marketing activities. It got 5%. And third variant, fusion model of public sale, and it got 32%. And almost 2,000 people have voted so far, and in my opinion this is an amazing result, because not even all of them participated in Fusion ICO. Not even all of them know about the type of ICO Fusion had. So the first part of the question is, what are your thoughts on the latest trend in ICOs, when general public gets a smaller part of tokens and people need to fulfill more and more conditions to get even these small allocations? I mean, people are involved in different marketing activities. What do you think of this?
There are not 100% fair way to do a ICO. Every method, every way, they have downside, they have upside. You know, people will see if just like a lot of different other ways to do ICO. Even for US, they have been running for about 1 year, right? So there are always some upside of the different ways to do it. But our thought of ICO is that, you know, blockchain projects is very highly reliant on the community, right? So we need to, we hope we can have as many supporters as possible. We want to give everyone the fair opportunity to participate. I don't want anyone. I don't want a model that someone they want to join, but finally they found, oh, because of some reason we cannot participate. Maybe because that's a limit. Maybe because of the allocation amount, maybe even because the bad connection. You know, some people they cannot participate. So the philosophy for Fusion ICO is that we want to give the most opportunity for the most people. As long as you want to participate, then you can do it. But we always need to have a way to manage the amount. You know, there is a way we definitely can have everyone to participate, which is we do not set the hard cap. Then everyone you send money, you send cryptocurrency in, you can participate. But it's not a good way. You know, we don't need that amount of money. We don't need that fund, because the more money we have, the more responsibility. And you know when people they send in the money, they send in the value. We do not need that. That will be a waste, right? So we want to set a hard cap, but we also want to give everyone opportunity to participate. That's why we think the most fair, the fairest way is to have everyone distributed to get the Fusion token proportionally by the ratio he sent the Ethereum versus the total amount Ethereum we got. So that could be the most fair, the fairest way to do it. And we can see in a lot of stock market, they also have this way to do IPO. They got people that in that way they get the money from a lot of people, but they also get the stocks, they get the shares according to the ratio, the money they sent in versus the total money they got raised. So I think this is not new, but the new thing for Fusion is we were using a smart contract to do it. You know, the stock market, the exchanges, they are using hundreds of different servers to book ledger for that. And they have labor, a lot of labor involved to do that. But on blockchain, we were just using 323 lines of codes to do everything like this. So this is the most amazing part. We want to show the power of blockchain. A lot of people, they question, oh, blockchain doesn't have any application yet. But what we want to demonstrate is this is the power of blockchain. We can see in this way, we were just doing the same thing as the exchanges are doing every day, but we don't involve any labor. It will be executed just according to how the code is written. So this is the magic we want to show to the public. We want to show to everyone. And in that case, people will people will trust the blockchain more. There is a saying says, the code is law. But what we want to show to the public is, yes, blockchain is increasing efficiency, saving the cost. So this is what we want to show to the public.
Great. And I personally think that Fusion model is great and one of the most fair one. Fusion proposed a unique and quite innovative model for token sale, which is considered by many investors to be the most convenient one. Why is it still not used widely by other projects?
First of all, you know, people, maybe some projects, currently more than 80, even more than 90 projects are not high quality projects. What they want to do is just to get fund raised and just to get money from the investors. They want to raise as much as they can. And, you know, even in some good quality projects, because under some very different legislation area, they need to apply to different regulations. And you know, in this model, in this model, we definitely can accept the contributors from a lot of different countries, just as we did. You know, we got the contributors from more than 130 different countries. And in that case, recently you see a lot of projects, they just start their selling with the private sale and have the token sold to the institutions only. So maybe this is one of the reasons. And another reason is, you know, if any project they want to use this method, they need to be very familiar with the smart contract. More than 50% of the projects today, they are using blockchain they're just using the blockchain token itself. Not probably they are not quite familiar with the smart contract itself. And the third reason I think is with this method, the smart contract can only handle the token in one ecosystem. Like if we are using the smart contract like this, we can only accept Ethereum. If we want to accept the Bitcoin and accept US or other projects, it's not possible because so far there are no blockchain supports the cross-blockchain smart contract yet. This is what Fusion is trying to do. So probably in the future, when Fusion go live, we can see on Fusion the cross-blockchain smart contract and a lot of smart contract across different blockchains can be running at that time. I believe at that time, this model could be very popular.
While preparing for this interview, I've looked at a number of your latest AMAs, and to sum it up, most people's concerns are about the tech development. And today you've made a major announcement. André Cronje has joined Fusion as the head of innovation and technology. In this connection, could you provide the latest updates on the development process and your plans for the near future?
In the recent 2 months, Fusion has been putting a lot of efforts on building a very strong leadership team. As you can see today, Andre we just announced the news. Andre joined us. But before, we already see a lot of very senior people. They have joined Fusion organization, like Charles Polyakov, and we also can see the very senior guy from the financial institution join Fusion as a member of Fusion Foundation Intelligence member. And we also can see two more people, two very senior more people. They will join us in a very short period of time. One is also technology related, and another one is marketing related. So more and more people, very senior people, they're joining. They're joining Fusion Foundation, and this is really in this after ICO. A lot of projects, they are just to keep the organization for ICO. But what we want to do is to expand, and we want to build a stronger and a stronger team to lead the Fusion Foundation to the future. So we spent about 2 months to build the stronger organization. Your question also, you also asked the question about what's the current status about our technology development. You know, along with the leadership team building, we also have our technology team regroup. Currently, we have a very dedicated team, which is called the cryptography team. This team is focusing on DCRM, the decentralized distributed control rights mechanism. We are using a lot of very cutting edge technology like homomorphic encryption, like threshold signature, like zero knowledge proof, a lot of very cutting edge technology to build the DCRM. By the most updated version of DCRM, you already can use this to control the private key distributedly to send the Bitcoin from one account to another account. Later on, we can add more and more different type of standard. Like today we support we support Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we also need to support the digital assets anchored to the fiat currency as well, like USD Tether. Also, we are going to support all the ERC20 tokens. And so this is the current status of DCRM. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to release 2 more versions of DCRM as well, to have them not only running distributedly in different nodes, but we are also using peer-to-peer communication to manage all type of private key parallelly. So that will be another breakthrough. And from that technology, people can see, oh, it is possible that we can control the assets distributedly by a bunch of different nodes. And in that case, it is possible to integrate this function on the blockchain to have different assets to be controlled by a bunch of different anonymous nodes. And along with our development of the DCRM, in parallel, we have a team focusing on the different module like peer-to-peer communication, the consensus, hybrid consensus, and focusing on the time lock function as well, the short notation function as well. We're just trying to build them, to integrate them together, to make it running. And today, we have most part of the function they can run it properly. We're just trying to fix some bugs on it, because once our mainnet go live, we need this platform to be as robust as possible, because the assets running on Fusion, they are the assets outside of this blockchain, and we are going to handle millions, billions, and even in the future, trillions of different assets on one platform. So we need to be very cautious. We need to make it very secure. So we need a little bit more time to make it running properly without any bugs. We are on our way to mainnet. Recently we are asked in the community by like the Telegram channel when the mainnet can go live. We are a little bit late than we expected, but we are still on track. And along with a lot of very good technology people join us, we can definitely accelerate this process. And steadily we can demonstrate one by one, like DCRM and the different functions on this platform. Once we release our mainnet, people can see most of the function. They are running very robust on this platform.
Andrea could help you to speed up this process and help you with on your way to mainnet.
Yes, Andre is a very good code reviewer, and he asked to review our code as well. And we are just doing it. We just add him. Along with our announcement, we just add him in our private GitHub. They have the access. They can help us to do a lot of things. Not only the code review, but also help us to test and try to build, even reconstruct some part if it is necessary. It's also helping us with a lot of industry adoption as well. You've already noticed that Andrew's title is innovation, the head of innovation and the technology. So he also helped a lot in the solution as a solution architect. We are in conversation with some governments, with some very high impact industry, some business institution. So he is also helping us to talking to those very good potential adopters, and try to have Fusion to be integrated as one of the finance engine in their application.
I had a chance to speak to people representing and connected to a number of basic layer infrastructure projects like Icon, Neo, Quarkchain, etc. And all these projects have the idea of developing their own ecosystem by investing and supporting other projects. What is Fusion strategy in this aspect?
We want to focus our platform first. We definitely, one of the philosophy for Fusion is being inclusive. We are very open to work with other projects because we want to position Fusion as a value connector. We have today different projects, they have their different purpose, they have their different objective. They definitely can help in a lot of different areas for this industry as well. So what we see Fusion's position is we can help them to be connected. So this is how we position ourselves. And we have our own plan work together with other projects as well, and even work with other fintech companies as well, to work with companies and to work with even governments, and to help them to make everything to be connected together. And of course, just as you said, we are willing to do that, and we also have our plan to do that as well.
In one of the interviews, you've said that the blockchain industry does not lack imagination, but it lacks implementation. So what's your vision of industry adoption for Fusion, and how it might be different from other blockchain projects today?
Today, the public blockchain is kind of mainstream. People are loving to do. And because public blockchain is a kind of protocol, and in each public blockchain, they want to have their own ecosystem. So that's why you see today on Ethereum, there are thousands and tens of thousands of different decentralized applications and different projects to be built on Ethereum. And we also see on EOS, there are hundreds of today different type of applications. And for each public blockchain, they have their own ecosystem. But for the industry adoption, from Fusion's vision is we hope all type of ecosystem, they can be one ecosystem. That's why we talked about it for a lot of times. We want to be the value connector. In the future, the ecosystem of EOS, the ecosystem of Ethereum, they are also the ecosystem of Fusion as well. So this is the Fusion's vision, and we also want to integrate it with existing financial institutions as well. Hope if those financial institutions, they can digitize their financial assets, they can be locked in on Fusion and work together with each other. The industry adoption could be much bigger than before if we can realize our what we have designed for Fusion. We can see the blockchain industry can be integrated with the real world, the real business, and in the blockchain, different projects, they can also adopt this technology as well. So this is our vision, and we can see a lot of different, a massive adoption of Fusion in the future. Even today, 1.5 months ago, we already signed an agreement of the commitment from a couple of different projects. They commit to locking more than $12 billion value of token, which is digitized assets, and locking them on Fusion.
To continue this question, I'm sure it will be very interesting for our community to know your business development plans as well. I know that you've had a number of negotiations, including Dubai government. Could you share it with us?
1 month ago, we have one of our senior leadership team member, his name is Charles Polyakov, join us. After he's joined, we can see a lot of very good progress in the industry adoption area. We are in conversation with the government, actually 3 governments. One is Dubai, even the whole UAE. And they are very aggressive in blockchain technology. And they are also in the middle of the world trade. It's a hub of the world trade. So they have a very special project called the Digital Silk Road. You can find this project on their official website. They're trying to use the blockchain technology to enhance their current world trade and try to position Dubai to be in a better position of the whole world trade belt along this digital Silk Road. So we are in conversation with them, and I think we had a very good discussion about the technology with them, and they are trying to pick a partner to help them in blockchain to help with this to build this vision. And from my perspective, we want to help them, and I think it is our responsibility to help them and to work together with them to achieve this vision and objective. Because the vision of digital Silk Road is very similar to the vision of fusion. So that's why I think we can definitely can help them, and we are in a conversation with the government. Currently, we are heading to some kind of agreement, but it hasn't been signed yet. So I cannot release any more information about that.
One more popular question during the AMAs is connected to exchanges and how Fusion is represented on different exchanges, major exchanges. Do you have any plans? Do you have any negotiations with the major exchanges? And what is your strategy concerning Fusion representation on the major exchanges?
Yeah, exchanges is about liquidity. So I totally agree that the Fusion Foundation needs to talk to more exchanges and need to provide more liquidity for Fusion token as well. So that's why we do have a plan, and there are some professional service company they are helping us as well. Try to persuade a lot of different exchanges. You know, from their side, if we standing at that point, we can see the exchanges. They are more. They have more interest in bringing more traffic to their exchange, right? So if we can have more supporters, definitely that will help us to be listed on more exchanges. Yeah, we have a couple of different strategies. The first strategy is we want to participate as many programs as possible to be listed on exchange for free. For example, a lot of exchanges they have free listing voting program, and we need to be more active than before to participate in a lot of different exchanges free listing voting. So this is the first strategy. And the second strategy is we need to talk to very key exchanges to persuade them to exchange some type of value. That means there are a lot of value we can bring to the exchanges at the same time. We can bring traffic. We also have a lot of very good connection with different projects, and we also have connections with governments. So we can exchange the connections, and we can exchange our value together with them. So the second strategy is we want to talk to more exchange and persuade them to list the Fusion on their platform, and at the same time we can bring value to them. So these two strategies are the most important strategies for being listed for list the Fusion on different exchanges. And we also want to enhance our technology at the same time. And I believe if we have our mainnet go live, and we have a lot of people they are talking about Fusion in the market, then more exchange they will be noticed, right? So they will be even more happy to list the Fusion in the future.
One more question concerning exchanges. Many people now think that centralized exchanges gained too much power at the moment, and they took control over the market. What are your thoughts on this situation? And as a founder of a project, what do you think?
I believe so, and I have the same feeling. You know, today exchange is just like a centralized third party, which help to exchange value across different type of blockchain projects. So this is the exchange. The crypto exchanges, they are not a new business. We have already seen this business 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But today, they are still in the middle of the stage. And we see they also have their own value today because the decentralized exchange has not been, it's not mature yet. But steadily, if the technology of decentralized exchanges become mature, we can see more and more people, they want to use the decentralized exchange as long as the service is good. You know, even the exchange is decentralized, the service can be centralized, right? A lot of people, they can provide a service. They can accept a call to help you to do a lot of transaction on the platform as well. In the future, I feel the technology of exchange can be decentralized, but at the same time, the service can be centralized.
Great. And may I ask you about your understanding, your thoughts on the current market situation as a whole? Do you think it's just some kind of market cycle, just the price fluctuation, or does this bear market has some fundamental reasons, like we still don't see the adoption we've expected at this moment, and maybe people lose confidence in the whole blockchain technology? What do you think?
Anyone who has been in this industry for over 3 years, they will have the same feeling that it's just a cycle. You know, in the last cycle, when the Bitcoin price came up from $1 to $1,000 and it dropped to 150, then a lot of people, they lost confidence, they lost faith, and a lot of people, they even left this industry. We also see the very famous guys like CZ and a lot of people. They left this industry, but you know, finally they will come back because this is just a cycle. Even today, maybe today the price is not at the bottom, but in the future, finally, you know, as long as the technology is moving forward, and we can see a lot of technology like cross-chain, side-chain, and high-performance transaction blockchain, and a lot of very good, a lot of very technology they come to chew. Then we see the next round will come up. So don't lose faith. If you have read the white paper thoroughly, especially the white paper of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Fusion, I believe you will have the trust, you will have the faith in the blockchain technology. Sooner or later, the technology will help us, will help the human being to do a lot of things, to decrease the cost, to save the cost for a lot, and increase the efficiency a lot. So definitely, it's just a cycle.
Great. DJ, thanks a lot for this interview. In the end, is there something you want to add? Maybe you want to say or to wish to something to ICODROPS community?
Yes. A lot of people, they see projects like 6 month, a half year projects after their 6 months after a project finishes their ICO is a very long period. But I have to say it's just the start. You know, the project like Ethereum is especially a project, you know, when a project wants to do something really creative and really matters to the new world, it definitely costs time. It will take time. So I have to say we are just in the very early stage of blockchain, and just to stay tuned, we can see not only Fusion but also a lot of other projects. We can see a lot of very good technology will come up in the future. So give us a little patience and try to study more in this industry. Sometimes, you know, when people lose faith, it is a good time to enter this industry, and people will see a lot of very good future in the for the technology development.
Thanks a lot, DJ.
Thank
Let,
you.
let me wish good luck to Fusion project from all the ICODROPS team and community. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell button, and you will never miss next video. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.